The Indiana Fever officially announced Kelsey Plum's signing. Kelsey Plum joins the Indiana Fever following a significant signing. Yes, you did read it correctly. Following Sata Sabali's departure from the Dallas Wings to join the Indiana Fever, Kelsey Plum just made the best decision of her career. It appears that the entire WNBA is experiencing a collective life choices moment.
Why?
What is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for.
Given that everyone wants to play with Caitlin CLK, it's clear who will rule the 2025 season, and that players are now pursuing glory with Clark rather than just wins.
You don't have it every year. It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually. The work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up.
Plum chose to sign with Indiana, and let's face it, she is not your typical player. She is a 3-time All-Star, a 2-time WNBA champion, and a proven game changer. With Clark and Sabali creating a fearsome trio, the Fever are poised to completely upend the league.
Yes. But the 2-time defending champs, looking very much like it as Kelsey Plum held out her hand for Clark to shake, and Clark plainly just backed away.
Although Caitlin doesn't require support, having reliable pals like Angel Aia Wilson and Chindi Carter on your side is beneficial.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that because I really like that group. They're a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
The idea of Plum leaving Vegas for Indiana is not just a trade. It's a change in power dynamics. Plum is the backbone of the Las Vegas Aces, a team that has been enjoying championship glory because of her. She has been carrying the Aces on her back, averaging 17.8 points per game in 2024 and making defenses look like amateurs.
We talked a lot of smack last year. I'm sure they heard it, and they got to smack us this year. So, for us, we will have a long...
The Indiana Fever aren't just any old squad hoping to strike it fortunate. They've been quietly and occasionally loudly building a lineup that shouts future dynasty. Leading the charge is Caitlin Clark, the rookie star who is already playing like she rules the league. If Plum joins the squad, it would be like adding rocket fuel to an image that is already on fire. Let's not sugarcoat things, but Plum and Clark playing the same backcourt defense would cause nightmares. However, this move could raising the Fever to serious competitors may potentially lead to chaos for the Aces. Although Vegas still has potential, losing Plum would be like tearing away a skyscraper's base.
Reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, but, like, she understands her privilege and, like, pushes her over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you.
Now, before you ask, did the Aces not sign Plum to that glitzy $249 to $250 Supermax contract? They did, and they named her a core player and everything, which seems final and firm until you consider how the WNBA operates, with contracts that are more like loose guidelines than handcuffs. A sign and trade deal may occur more quickly than Plum sinks of 3, and believe me when I say that if the Fever is sweeping through Vegas, they will have to seriously consider whether keeping Plum would be worth giving up their future flexibility. You think the front office of AC is resting well these days?
Went from dominating the league, winning back-to-back championships, literally having teams craft their roster in order to beat the Aces, is now the team that did not live up to expectations this year, and is a team that's one by one falling apart in front of our own very eyes.
Enter the Golden State Valkyries, the NBA's newest expansion team that is essentially shouting, "Hey Kelsey, remember your California roots." The interesting twist is that their head coach, Natalie Nakas, used to coach Plum in Vegas, so moving back to California doesn't seem that unlikely. The Valkyries are like that new kid in school who already knows everyone and shows up with the coolest stuff. But here's the thing, Indiana is just as alluring as the Valkyries due to the Fever's
Chicago, as we just said, has Tyler Marsh as their head coach. He was also an assistant for the Las Vegas Aces, so that's caused a lot of back and forth because they've had two now assistant coaches leave. Natalie Nakase is now the head coach of the Valkyries.
Plum is a beast statistically. Her 36.8% shooting from beyond the arc last season was good. But let's talk about that playoff game against the Liberty, where she scored 6 points and 2 for end shooting. That kind of performance makes you wonder if it was just a bad day or if Plum is desperate for a change of scenery to return to her best. Teams are crawling like sharks in any case because players like Plum aren't just born. They're proven winners, and any team that signs her is immediately in the running for the championship.
Seemed like A'ja Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of players like Kelsey Plum and Paige Bueckers and someone who is her teammate. It felt like she was giving Kelsey Plum a backhanded compliment. And a lot of people, Aces fans, WNBA fans, Kelsey Plum fans, across the board really had a problem with this video, and it really left a sour taste.
Now, since their circumstances are equally heated, let's focus on the Fever. Since 2018, Kelsey Mitchell has been a mainstay for Indiana, and her 2024 season was a chef's kiss. She averaged 19 2-points per game and shot over 40% from three. Despite losing her father the previous season, she emerged stronger, leading this team and coaching younger players like Caitlin Clark. The Fever didn't hesitate to extend her contract, saying, "This is our franchise player." But what would happen if Plum took over? Would they share the spotlight, or would the team collapse under the weight of too many stars? Let's talk records because Clark smashed them like they were made of glass, rewriting the WNBA's single-season assist record with an incredible 337 dimes, shattering a record that had not been broken since 1998. It's like trying to fit two queens on one throne, messy, but incredibly entertaining to watch. Oh, and what about becoming the first rookie in league history to record 2 triple-doubles? Yes, she did that as well. She's not only playing, she's also redefining what a rookie season can accomplish. But the best part is that her influence extends beyond the individual honors. The Fever hadn't made it to the playoffs since 2016, but with Clark in charge, they did, and that's what generational leadership is all about. Talent seems to not only shine but also brighten the entire team, but this is where things get spicy. The onset of the Fever coincides with the Las Vegas Aces collapsing like a sandcastle during high tide.
The league has been pissed off for the last 8 months, and my players are in commercials and this and that and being freaking celebrities, and you get distracted.
The Aces, long the NBA's unchallenged powerhouse, are now a team in disarray. Their playoff loss to the New York Liberty was terrible enough, with their offensive rating dropping by almost 7 points, but the off-court turmoil is even worse. After general manager Natalie Williams and her co-assistants left, head coach Becky Hammond was left to clean up the situation.
Back-to-back championships and a deep playoff run this season, the Las Vegas Aces have fired general manager Natalie.
Even though everyone has bad nights, when your team is in disarray, performances like that don't exactly inspire confidence. Now that whispers of Plum may be leaving, the Aces are facing a serious identity crisis. And let's not forget Kelsey Plum's lackluster playoff performance. 6 points on 2 for end shooting in a crucial game. That's not the Plum we're used to seeing. If she departs, they will not only lose a vital scorer, but also a pillar of their success that will be difficult to recreate. Good luck. The WNBA might blow the roof off if Plum makes it to Indiana, but let's face it, adding Plum to this mix isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It raises serious questions. Meanwhile, back in Indiana, the Fever is licking their chops with Clark Mitchell and rising star Aaliyah Boston. They're already on the verge of something special. How do you integrate another alpha scorer without disrupting the balance that's been so crucial to their success? Can Mitchell and Plum share the spotlight without stepping on each other's toes? It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario, but if it works, the Fever won't just be playoff contenders, they'll be championship favorites. The WNBA is shifting in ways we haven't seen before. The Aces, once untouchable, are now teetering on the edge while the Fever are climbing to heights they haven't reached in. Nearly a decade, and at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark, the rookie, who's already playing like an MVP. Whether the Fever add Plum or stick with their current core, one thing is clear: this team is here to stay. The league's power dynamics are changing. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing out on one of the most exciting storylines in years. The Aces may be fading, but the Fever, they're just getting started. And trust me, this is only the beginning. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one player or one team, it's about the WNBA's balance of power shifting right before our eyes. If Plum goes to Indiana, the league gets a new superpower, and the Aces are left scrambling to stay relevant. The Valkyries could swoop in and change everything, or Plum could shock us all and stay in Vegas. Whatever happens, one thing's for sure: this is the kind of drama that makes the WNBA must watch.